Hello and welcome you all in this video tutorial. This video is for class ninth, chapter number 6, Computer Networking part 1st. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about what is a network, networking components and types of network along with examples. Dear students, before starting this chapter, let me tell you what is a network. Dear students, in our daily life, we come across different type of networks. For example, networks of road, highways, railway tracks, cables. Along with this, communication networks of telephone system that enable us to talk to anyone, anywhere and anytime. Networks of banks, ATMs that allow us to access our account anywhere around the globe. Radio televisions networks that broadcast program live across the globe. Likewise, networks of hospitals, schools and mall all over the country. Similarly, when two or more computers are connected with each other for sharing data and information, they together form a computer network. Through these links, we can share information with each other over the network. Next, if we discuss about computer networks and its components, dear students, a computer network is a group of computers and peripheral devices connected through a data communication system. If you observe this figure carefully, then here we are having total 3 computers, 1 printer and 1 network connecting device, that is hub. Now through this figure I want to explain you, I want to tell you all the connected systems are able to use any hardware resource on the network. Like for example, if computer A wants to send any information to computer C, then by using network easily computer A can send the data to computer C. And dear student, if you observe here we are having only one printer, and this printer is shareable through all the connected computers, computer A, B and C. It means from any computer, if you want to take any printout, then you can use the connected printer. So this is the advantage of networking, through which we can share peripheral devices like hardwares and softwares. The shared resource can be data file, any application software or hardware device like printer, modem, etc. through which we can use all the connected computers for sharing any kind of files, any kind of software resource on the network. Next that I'm going to discuss is why we need networking. So dear students, in information and communication technology, we need to use some data at different location. One way of doing so is to keep the same data file at separate location across the globe. It means if you want to send or share any data from any different location, for this we need network. For example, dear students, if you want to travel from one city to another city via train, so we are having a railway track network through which you are traveling from one city to another city. The same way, if you want to share any data, for this we need a communication network or a network through which we can share our data. In a data communication system, a message is transferred from one point to another point via medium. Medium in the sense network. And one thing more here I want to tell you, whenever we share any data, in that case, the sender creates a message, the medium carriers carries the message, and the receiver sometime call as a sync receive the message. In simple word, suppose you want to send any message to any other person, so you act as a sender, and to whom you want to send that message, that person act as a receiver, and at what medium, at what way you are sending that particular message, that called medium or communication medium. Generally right now we are using mobile phones to send some message or to make call to someone via, these all thing is possible only via network. Otherwise we are unable to communicate with any person, or we are not able to share any data with any persons. So for this we need networks. Next, if we discuss about advantages of networks, so we are having so many advantages of networking. For this, here I mention some points. The first one is hardware sharing. In a network, we can share almost every peripheral devices such as printer, scanner, modem, CD writers, etc. Among several computers, all these devices are attached to a remote server which is shared among multiple computers. This reduces the cost of hardware. It means, dear student, suppose you are creating a networks, and on a network, suppose you are having total 10 computers, but you are having only one printer. So for this, if you connect all the system through network, and along with all the 10 system, you are having a connected printer, so easily you can share the hardwares or any peripheral devices according to your need. Next is software sharing. Every application software can be installed on main server rather than installing it on every computer individually. Computer in a network can use required software from the server. This technique saves cost as well as time. Dear students, suppose you are creating a networks of 10 computers and you install a software on your main computer, that is server machine, so you don't have to install that particular application or software on each individual machine. All the connected machines are able to access that particular software installed at the server machine, through which you can save your software cost as well as time. Next is efficiency of hardware and software resource. In a network, modification in softwares or hardware are done at a single point. It means, dear students, on the same networks where all the 10 connected computers are there, if you want to do some modification, like suppose for example if you want to change the date, so you don't have to change individually in each system the date, Only you need to change the date at server machine. It automatically reflected all the connected machines through which you are accessing that machine via using server. Next is reduce redundancy. Since people use some data in common workplace, they can share it over a network by storing it centrally. This also reduces the redundancy of the same data. Along with this, via network you can save paper and time, and this provide a powerful security. It means on a network all the connected systems data are secured. So these all are the advantages of networking that we are having. Next is types of network. Dear students, basically computer networks are classified in four parts. First one is local area network, metropolitan area network, wide area network, and personal area network. If we discuss about personal area network or local area network, local area network is a network that work within a small geographical area, like within a room, office building, or a campus. The maximum range of LAN is not more than 10 kilometers. The number of connected computers varies from 2 to 1000. A LAN consists of some components like it have two or more computers, software to controls the operations of computers, peripheral devices like printers, scanner, etc., cables to connect the computers. Metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network having large geographical area comparing the LAN. It varies or it spread across a city. Since it can cover an entire city, it is called MAN. The maximum range of MAN can be not more than 50 kilometers. For example, dear student, suppose in a same city you are having two organization in different location in a same city, and if you want to connect both the organization via network, so for this the suitable networking is metropolitan area network, and the maximum range, as I told you, not more than 50 kilometers. So you can establish a network within 50 kilometers range to share information and data. Next is wide area network. Wide area networks works on large geographical area, nothing but World Wide Web. You can share information and data through World Wide Web. The best example of WAN is internet. The main characteristics of a WAN is that it requires a public telecommunication media to transfer data, that is internet. Next is personal area network PAN. This is a type of network is mainly created for an individual person. It consists of a desktop laptop computer, mobile phones, and or handheld computing devices such as PDA or a smartphone. The best example of PAN is like suppose you are sharing some data by using Bluetooth, and the maximum range of this personal area network is not more than 10 meters, that is around 30 feet. Next point that we are going to discuss is network components. So the first component of network is server. Dear student, server is a powerful computer which provide services to their connected clients. there can be multiple server in a computer network. Server can link to other computers or electronic devices together to provide important services to both prevented public user. In other words, we can say that server serves the services to their connected clients. So this one is the most important networking components. If I explain you with the help of example, dear students, suppose you are having a ATM card of SBI and and your account is in Gorakhpur. So you are not prevented to use that ATM card in Gorakhpur only. You are allowed to use that particular ATM card throughout the country. It means whatever account detail or account information is stored at server site. It means in a centralized location, and that centralized location, that server is accessible throughout the country. So you are using that particular ATM card on any corner of the country. This is possible because of server machine. And we can say server machine is a powerful machine that have great speed and great processing capability. Next component is client. A client is a computer system which use a network to access a remote server or server from the different location. It can access all the application or information from the main server. And a client is also known as node. Dear student, don't be confused. If you see node, then it is known as client also. Next is network interface card, NIC. It is a small piece of computer hardware which facilitates the communication between different computers over a network. The NIC identifies every single nodes in a network by providing a unique physical address to it. This address is stored on a chip which is mounted on the card. NIC, it means it's a physical address. The use of this physical address is to identify that machine on a network. Suppose you created one network, and suppose in your network total 100 computers are there. To identify a single machine among all the connected 100 machine, we need a unique identification, that is NIC. Through this, we can provide a unique physical address to each and every computer. Next is mode of communication. Computer networks can be classified on the basis of both hardware and software, which is used to interconnect to the individual device in a network such as optical fiber, Ethernet, or wireless LAN. It means mode of networks, maybe it's wired or wireless. Next is modem. A modem enables you to connect your computer to available internet connection over the existing telephone lines. It covers the digital signals of a computer into analog signal to enable their transmission via phone. In other words, we can say that modem work as a modulator and demodulator. Modulator means, as we all know, our machine or our computer or any electronic device only understood digital signal. but whatever signal travel from satellite that is in analog form. So for this, we need a device to receive that analog signal and convert it into digital form for establishing the communication. And that device is modem. That is why I told you modem known as modulator and demodulator. Next is hub. A hub is a networking device that is used to connect multiple computers and computing devices directly to the network by using cables. Each connection is called a port. The connections are established using a fiber optic cables. When the hub receives the data at one of its port, it distributes the data to the other ports in the network. In simple word, we can say that hub is used for establishing communication among multiple computers. The same way we are having switches also. Switches contain many ports to connect different network segments. They are similar to hub but offers great performance. When a networks contain a large number of devices, switches are needed instead of hub. It means hub use for less number of system, but switches are used for large number of devices or systems. Next we have repeaters. The main work of repeaters is to establish communication in a proper manner. It means when signal travels long distance, so at a certain points signals are going to be lost. At that point, we need some booster, some repeaters to strength to boot the strength of the signal. So for this, we need repeaters. The repeater is a device that used to boost signal strength. Likewise, we have routers, gateways, and bridges. These all are the important networking components that we are using whenever we establish communication among multiple computers. Next thing that I'm going to discuss is transmission media or transmission medium. Dear students, networking we can create in any of the way, either guided wired media or unguided, that is wireless media. If we use guided media, then here we are using physical components, physical wires for establishing communication among multiple computers. The first physical component wire cable that we are using is Ethernet. Ethernet cable is one of the most popular from the network cable is used in wired networks. This cable reassembles a phone cables but is larger than phone cables and has 8 wires. Ethernet cables connect various devices such as PC, router, switches within a local area network. The advantage of these cables is that they have less power consumption, but the drawback is these cables is that the computer requires an Ethernet adapter card on the motherboard to connect the Ethernet cable. So it have both advantages as well as disadvantages. Next cable that we are having is coaxial cable. A coaxial cable is used in transmission of video communication and audio. It is mainly used by cable television industry to connect TVs to a cable TV service. Dear student, if you observe your TV or dish wire, so that wire is called coaxial wire, through which we can see the broadcast from the broadcaster channels through our dish TV. Next is optical fiber cable. Optical fiber is popular technology that has great capacity to transfer data at very high speed. A fiber optic cable consists of center glass core containing a bundle of glass threads surrounded by several layers of protective materials. The glass threads are capable of transmitting data converted into light signals at extremely high speed. It means optical fiber cables having higher speed comparing than coaxial and Ethernet cables. Next media we are having is wireless media. This used for long distance communication, nothing but satellite. Next is Bluetooth. Bluetooth is also a communication technology that uses low power radio wave to connect electronic devices, that is wirelessly. Bluetooth having a range of 10 meters to 240 meters depending on Bluetooth version in use. It means the communication area is not more than 10 meters to 240 meters. Next that we have is Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. It creates a wireless local area network that uses radio waves to send the information. A secure, reliable, and fast wireless connection is established between the electronic devices and the internet by using this technology. The device requires a wireless adapter connected to them to capture the Wi-Fi signal. Next, we are having network protocols. Dear students, for establishing communication between two ends, we are using so many protocols. As you all know, protocols is a set of rules. For network, we have the first protocol that we are using is TCP/IP. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. IP is Internet Protocol. Dear students, whenever data travels on a network, it travels in the form of packets. That packets travel from sender side in random order and reassemble at destination point. The responsibility of TCP to carries all the packets in a proper manner and deploy at the destination part, and IP responsible for sending correct packets to the correct destination. Next protocol, HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This Hypertext Transfer Protocol determines how different programs exchange data over the network. It defines how messages are formatted and transmitted and what action web server and browser should take in response to various commands. Next protocol that we are using is FTP. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, is a standard internet protocol. It is one of the simplest and easiest way to exchange file between two or more computers on the internet. Using FTP client and FTP server software, FTP uses Internet TCP/IP protocol to download software programs to our computer from other resources. It means, in short, we can say that file transfer protocol is responsible to sending and receiving file from various ends. Next is SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. is the most common protocol used for sending emails between two or more servers. This protocol has a limited ability to send the message at the receiver ends. Hence, we need some other protocol for email retrievals. It is the generally used to send message from mail client to the mail server. Next, we are having Internet Message Access Protocol and Post Office Protocol for sending and receiving messages from client to server machine. These two protocols are faster than SMTP. Next, one point we are having, that is cloud computing. Cloud is something that present at the remote location. Remote location means a location that we are not able to know where exactly it was. The cloud is defined as a set of hardware network, storage, interface and services combined together to deliver different aspects of computing as a service over a network or internet. We are having so many types of cloud computing like public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, community cloud. Along with this, we have some advantages also. It is cost savings, reliable for using or storing data. It provides security to our data. It also gives unlimited free storage and it is easy for accessing. Next thing is data and information. Data refers to a collection of numbers, characters, symbols, images, etc., which can be processed by a computer. It related to facts, events, and transactions. Data carries no meaning in its raw forms. It must be processed and interpreted to exact meaningful information. It means data itself have no meanings, but information have some meanings. Understanding data and information and knowledge, let us see the difference between data and information. Data are facts and statistics used for reference or analysis. Number, character, symbol, image, etc., which can be processed by a computer. A representation of information. For example, marks such as 67, 88, 90, 77 are considered as data. It means it don't have any meaning. But if we discuss about information, for example, if I told you a boy whose name is Rohit, a student of class 9th who has scored 67 in English, 88 in maths, 90 in physics, 77 in chemistry, it have some meaning. So this is called information. The major difference between data and information is data itself have no meaning, but information contains some meaning. Next is multimedia. Dear student, as you all know, multimedia is a combination of more than one media. That media consists some elements like text, graphics, sound, video, animation, etc. Multimedia elements that includes text is the most fundamental elements of any multimedia projects. Graphics, it means the photographs or designs. Sound, that you already know, can be added to a multimedia presentation for a variety of sources. Video, moving image or videos can be frame a attractive multimedia project that is eye-catching for the audience. The same way in animation, that is graphics that contain movement are often refers to as a animation. Animation file can be downloaded from the internet in the form of animated GIF files, etc. Along with this, if we discuss about the application of multimedia, the applications are used in the field of entertainment and fine arts, education, journalism, engineering, industry, medicals, and many more fields are there where we are using multimedia right now. So these all are the topic that we are studied in chapter number 6, that is networking, computer networking. Hope you will understood. Thank you.